Anyways, when last we left the party, hopefully we won't have that issue again. If we do, whatever. If you're watching this at all, we probably didn't have the issue again.
The fractals could manifest interior like this.
Yeah, I bet Holbrook is pretty bad right now.
I wonder if even the wizards knew it was such a big disaster.
Yeah, Guild Wars 2, I don't want to say it's unoptimized so much as it's very well optimized for 2006. That's not really a dig, that's just reality. It's actually funny, the further into the game I get, the more the holes show. As they get more and more ambitious. With... In case you can't read that, it says the game client lost its connection to the server. Please wait a few minutes before restarting the client and try again. That's a new one. Also, I have no idea how to check VRAM live, Coleman. So... yeah, okay. I'm on the task manager. I can tell you how much RAM it's using. 13 gigs, by the way. Where the hell am I? Oh, it defaulted me.
Track down one of our Sky Skill trainers if you're having troubles getting out. Doing the best we can.
Welcome to the command center.
13 out of 32 in my case. Hey Ross, hey Trahexia.
I see you're on your feet. That I am.
I think we're ready for some proper introductions. Dagda Commander, Commander Dagda. She helped Mabon heal me when I first got here. You should have seen me. I was a mess.
Dagda? Commander. I apologize for my hostility at our first meeting. I understand, but you did not deserve my ire. But I maintain my caution. We don't know you. I was pulled into that rift. I'm happy to help Zoja. To help you. But this was not my choice. Nor was it mine.
Okay, we're still feeling grumpy. Let's not get distracted from the end goal here. To stop the Cryptus. And, well, we need all the help we can get.
This is true.
Frode was looking for you, Commander. Why don't you track him down?
Sure. I was trying to explain my issues with Secret so far to PAX last night.
Does what make me angry?
The fact that everyone doesn't immediately bathe in your excellence.
They don't know me. Neither do you.
But I'm starting to. And I don't think you liked that very much.
Well, see, that's the problem, Colgrim. I was having a hard time putting my finger on it. And I think what it boils down to is there's just not much here. You ever played D&D? Anybody who's listening to this right now? there's actually like 6 different types of D&D campaigns. But one of the types of campaigns that I most frequently think of is a module. Now, obviously, a module is actually a format of a campaign or of a story or whatever, not anything else. Let's just throw that out the window. Let's throw literal definitions out the window for just a second. Generally speaking, when someone says, let's run a module, what I think of is a nice little bite-sized side adventure, right? There's not a lot of meat on the bones. If there's a twist, it's like one twist. Like, oh no, the ghost was actually the good guy, and that's it, right? There's not really a lot of in-depth character. There's not really a lot of in-depth world building. It's a bag of popcorn. You with me? Now, this is an exaggeration. It is not always true. There are plenty of modules that are actually really, really solid on the story axis. But that's what I think of when I think of a module. When I think of a little one-off, is what those are also sometimes called. And that's what this feels like. So far, this feels like a module. There's nothing really wrong with it, but it's just like, okay. Cool. Yeah, it's a nice little bag of popcorn. Yeah, it's a side story you play when your main campaign players can't all make it. So, and you all want to just spend the time hanging out and having fun, so you're like, well, let's crack out what we got here. Oh, what's it called? Hang on one second. Oh, what's it called? There's actually a one-off I hold off to the side that I have run several times. Here it is. The Scarab of Death. For those of you who've heard of it. Scarab of Death is actually one of the more in-depth ones. No pun intended. And is the kind of one-off I tend to like to pull off, or like, hey, let's go just play for a bit. But that's really my issues with this, is it's fine. And as a consequence, I have very little to say about it, and very few positives or negatives to give. And it's just like, okay.
Urchik is terribly concerned with Lear's... Pardon, Urchik, but Lear's stuffiness. Palladium agrees with Skrit.
Dagda's doing better. If I was still a shaman, I'd owe you a blessing.
Oh, I saw. Still less than thrilled to see me.
Dagda's incredibly protective of the Astral Ward. Like I said, she'll come around. Eventually.
This is... the commander? Oh, Urchik is at your service. Skrit is a big fan of your work. Big fan.
Oh my god, it's timing.
This is Urchik and Gladium, 2 of my scouts. I've currently tasked them with tracking Lear.
Both of them.
We know that the facet of emotion is working with Mabon to break down the tower's defenses. But his other half is...
not counted for. Glade has an ominous feeling.
As do I. But there are still cryptids feeding on the fractals and their inhabitants. If we don't help them, we treat them no better than Dolyaks. Commander, frankly, I could use your help in the field. The Rift Hunters and my scouts have their hands full.
I'll check in with Rion. See what the hunters need.
Urchik and Gladium are very honored to work alongside the esteemed Pact Commander.
The title might be a little dated, but I appreciate the sentiment.
Oh, Urchik could write ballads of your glory. Truly. Gladium, too. Urchik presents Gladium! She is my oldest companion. Urchik can read her movements. Gladium cannot speak or hear Skrit very well, for that matter. The Legions were not kind to her. But Gladium is as strong and intelligent as the commander.
It's good to meet you both.
As Urchik and Gladium are glad to meet you.
I'm almost positive that Timey's voice actress. Which would continue the trend of them reusing their in-house actors because they're trying to keep things cheaper and quicker. So Mr. Red says, or maybe it was Blade Fall. I don't know. One of you said there's no prior investment to any of this. And that's a valid complaint to have, but all that means is you're starting on a back foot. Doesn't mean you can't have a good story. I actually have 2 examples off the top of my head of starting in what is effectively a brand new story arc and still doing a good job of making me invested immediately. In FF14, there's an expansion called Shadowbringers, where, spoilers, we go to a completely new area with completely new characters and a completely new setup, and very little direct connection to the story up to that point and so far, at least at the start. And they did a really good job of pretty much immediately investing me in the story that they were telling out there. It helps that one of the very first things we see is the direct threat of the threat that we're facing out there. And then over in WoW, actually I was going to use Dragonflight as my example there. Dragonflight is the reboot of WoW for good reason, both in universe and out. And suddenly going to a brand new area with brand new rules and mostly new characters was the kind of thing that could have flopped pretty hard. BFA, excuse me. In fact, actually Shadowlands is a better example, because Shadowlands tried the same trick if you were paying attention. But Shadowlands failed miserably, whereas Dragonflight caught me pretty much immediately. Dragons, and like dragon culture, and dragon civilization, and there's these new characters, and they're like all nervous, and one of the first, small spoilers for Dragonflight, one of the very, very first characters you meet is fully voiced, and she's adorable, and she's a little bit nervous to be meeting someone as esteemed as you, and they do a good job of making it work. Like, they make this character serve as a window, for lack of a better way to put it, for the player, easing the player into something brand new, whether it's the first expansion you're playing, which is by design nowadays, or if you've been playing all along, which is what I had. And so they did a pretty good job of just dragging the camera all the way down to the ground and saying, hi, and characterizing this new character for quite a bit, actually. Stuff like that. Point is, in both cases, they did exactly what you describe, Mr. Red. It's that we had no real prior investment to any of that crap. They just did it better. And I think that just is what this boils down to. It's always about execution. It's not like this is bad. This isn't a nothing burger. It's just, okay.
You've returned. I'm sure I speak for all the hunters when I say, job well done.
I had a lot of help from Zoja, but thank you. Frode made it sound like things might be urgent.
Dagda may be back on our side, but the Cryptis have stepped up their efforts. Let me show you.
Okay. You have got to be kidding me. The next quest is do more rifts? By the way, this is the second MSQ in a row, which is just go do rifts. That's the requirement, is just go do rifts. No, I did not know. I am way off the map at this point. Okay, well, let's go do rifts. I believe that's this button. Yeah.
Who's got the guts to take on my Skyscale challenge, eh?
Do you expect me to trust you right away, Peter?
Would that be so bad?
If I'm about to rip off my own flesh and turn into a Cryptis, then yes.
The wizards are reactive creatures. They scare easily. Tell them, and it would end badly. I'd keep me under your hat for now. Get to know me a bit before doing anything severe. Just watch out for nosebleeds. That might be a bad sign.
Oh, hey, look, it's an abandoned skyscale nest, Mr. Red. Oh, no egg, though. Wait, hang on, let's check for egg. No egg. No, I'm with you, Magister. Ever since I first saw voiced characters in MMO, which was actually Tor, but Guild Wars 2 also does it, I've wanted that in the other big two.
Commander? Can you hear me? Oh, Skrit hopes this works.
Chick? Is that you?
Yes. Good. Very good. Urchik isn't very familiar with modern technology.
Yeah, exactly, Colgan.
Thank the magnificent shiny that Miss Yuna was able to connect your device to our astral frequency. Gladium and I are still tracking Lear, but we will contact you as soon as we've located him.
I'm also with Bladeval on both things. Like, they really have not done a lot to endear me to this new cast. And the first impression of this expansion has been pretty bad, to be quite honest with you. Like, that's a bad opening, you know? And once again, contrast Shadowbringers or Dragonflight. I'll probably just warp over there. Oh, no, I can't. Okay, over. Oh, no, hang on. I think that's it. And yeah, that's why I brought up that one nice little NPC in Dragonflight. Jaquita mentions, licking the PC's boots, and that is admittedly part of it. But the important part was that she was friendly. She was a friendly, quiet little face of, oh, hi. Let me be, the character that you start to learn what's going on and understand the new stakes and the new setting with. Here, even Zoja, the supposed old friend of the character in universe and out, has just been like, hey, Commander, listen, just put up with these other people for now. Like, almost word for word. Thankfully, it appears there's a hunt train going on. Or hunt train? Jesus Christ. A rift train, excuse me, going on right now. So this shouldn't take overly long. Imagine if nobody was on at the moment. It's okay, this is surely the last time, right? See, I keep saying that because one of these times it is going to be the last time. And we'll finally be done with this kind of crap. Hello. Agreed, Darkrai. Absolutely. Looks like we need to do 3 more. Also, lol, you just mentioned how the Skrit is being more, accommodating than anybody else has been so far, and the Skrit is voiced by Taimi. Don't worry, at some point, Colgrim, it is going to be the last time. Hello, Zar.
Engaging hostiles.
Oh, wrong way. Wrong way, no! You were supposed to go the other way. Oh my god, PB Goodfate, don't even joke about that. You need to go do 15 hearts in order to progress. Yeah! And the run is over. One very minor thing I do like about Rifts, actually it's 2 things, but it's functionally the same thing. First of all, the fact that you can always see where a rift is. That is actually admittedly a nice feature. No second guessing, no roaming the zone randomly looking for an event. Just, it's that way. Go that way. Second, if you didn't even notice, I can just use that thing at any point in time while flying.
Warning to all organics. Anyone on the round in kindness, you will be terminated on sight.
Alright, speaking of which, here's the biome I haven't shown off yet. This is where the dwarves showed up. Still this way. Okay, so there's the waypoint. It's right there. I'm gonna arrive too late for this one. It's okay, I want this waypoint first. Well, I spent... The whole reason I was late this morning is I spent this morning cleaning up after the cat. Reminds me of how much I can't stand this cat. I'm being exaggerative. I've actually... Ooh. It's behind me? It's down. I've come to a weird conclusion in that I don't mind the cat as long as it isn't in my space. That's kind of the problem I have here. I realized it. No, yeah, I'm pretty sure I missed it. It's just taking too long. Like, I didn't mind the cat back at the old place because the cat never came into my room. But right now, the cat is basically locked into this room because he's terrified of the other person who lives here. So anytime he's out and about, he's just like, nope. And so he constantly wants to be like, you know, hi, I want to be on your lap, I want to be on your keyboard, I want to be on your face, and I don't want any of those things. I was just thinking about this because, like, from a long-term perspective... Oh, jeez. I need to hurry. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure the cat likes the computer room. That's a damn shame. If there's one thing that a cat should never be anywhere near, it's a computer. He's different, Chill Penguin. He's a different person than I'm used to. But that's actually a really good point, and you're right, Blade.
Who Urchik likes to call Goodlier, doesn't have a good sense of where his other half is. Once we've accounted for both, the commander can assist Urchik and Gladium in sealing him back together.
Yeah, no, they're knocking these out really fast, which is good. This is still a negative. If there wasn't a rift train going right now, this would be much more aggravating. I'd probably be begging people to come help me. But no, Blitchell is absolutely right. Both Path of Fire, when you first went to Alona, excuse me, and Cantha had really strong openings in a brand new area. Like, I know there's issues with both, but think about the intro to both, right? You land in Alona, and there's a fire, so we're going to go try and help out. Okay, we go up, and the first thing we see is Balthazar's minions mass murdering people, and it's like, holy crap. And, like, your very first thing is save civilians and then hunt down the person who's murdering them, the war marshal. Oh, there we are. Then we get the raptor, rush through, quick fight, and it's like, okay, now we're in Alona, and we find out that the people around here are very under the gun, have barred up the walls, and have dozens upon dozens of refugees outside. And it's like, oh. And, like, immediately, we know what we're getting into and how we're getting into it. Right? Same kind of thing over in Cantha. First thing we see is like, where are we? Oh my god. Timmy, where are we? What's going on? And so... Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so, now that we're done blying.
Steady. Breathe. Breathe.
Who was that? Epoch.
Brave of you to say that so loudly. He hunts, though not for you yet.
See you around, Luke. Okay, so now that they're done yammering on about how the main villain, his dick, is so big, that's true, Blade Taval. We also get one of our own party in Elona. We don't... Actually, I think we get the same one in both Casimir, in both Elona and Cantha. Which makes sense. She's a diplomat, an ambassador. It's almost like that was a smart move, making a character we know and understand a diplomat, so she would regularly be a part of wherever we go in the future. For real, that was a smart choice, I think. Anyways, so we get to Elona, issues, town, problem, cool. We get to Cantha, what's the first thing we see? And this is actually quite smart. I meant to praise this when it happened. The first thing we have is we try to call Taimi and we can't. And just by the nature of how they do the audio design on that scene, it's pretty clear that the reason we can't call Taimi is because we're just too far away. So immediately and effortlessly, it's like, oh, okay, we are somewhere far, far away. All right. Then we crash land. We wake up to, like, people talking about us medically, like, oh, God, are they going to recover? It'll be fine. And then we have Gorick, there's our friendly, familiar character, giving us a nice, lighthearted tidbit about, oh, my God, I can't take being in jail, before we're immediately and effortlessly released. And then they start to flesh out the natures of the problem and how big of a deal it is that we have crash landed on the shores of a country that has closed its borders.
Good news, Commander! Gladium caught Lear's trail! Well, bad Lear's trail. Meet Skrit at the Beacon of Ages, and we'll build a plan.
Yeah, Zojja is, for all intents and purposes, an unfamiliar character. Even if we count her presence in Guild Wars 2, which, to be clear, I don't. Tell me Zojja's character in vanilla. Go ahead, I'll wait. Actually, that's a good point, Blade Taval. They also overcame that almost immediately, if you remember. Like here, we've magically augmented it so it now has infinite range, is what they said earlier. Literally, this will be able to communicate with you anywhere, is what they said. What I'm trying to say is I don't think any of this is necessarily bad. But I'm trying to explain why I don't think it's good. Like, you get the ideas of what they were going for, but it's just like... Okay. Yeah, nothing here's catching me at all.
Commander, just in time for Urchik's battle plan. Mabon and Goodlear are working to unlock the Wizard's Tower. Mabon has requested the Commander's assistance. Once Mabon and Goodlear have forged a key, we can access the Wizard's Tower. Right, Glade. That's where we think Bad Lear is hiding. How he got in, Skrit does not know.
You and I will hold the line here in the interim, but we'll join you when it's time to recapture the tower.
How does that sound to you, Commander?
I still have a lot to learn about, well, all of this. But I'll join you in that fight.
Oh, Urchik is honored.
I'll ready the Astral Ward.
I'll let Mabon know that we're moving.
Anything come from that distress call, Dagda?
Did you hear about Alm?
No? What happened?
Taken over by one of the beasts. Stuck a knife into his thigh during supper. Got there before he could cut anyone's throat.
Almost did, though. They had him cornered for an hour before we got there.
I took him to the Beacon of Ages. He'll stay behind a locked door until we know if he's going to be a problem.
Probably for the best, so long as he can't hurt himself.
And that's why we need to be careful.
Ahem. Hi, Riker's-Beard.
Commander, we could use your expertise on the front line. Lear and I will be waiting for you.
As I was saying, this actually is Taimi's actress, so it makes sense that she sounds like Taimi. So tell me your story.
But I've never met a Skrit as,
Brainy as Urchik. Neither has Skrit. When Urchik was smaller, Skrit was caught in an Asuran trap. Bright, sparkling. They did some experiments, and suddenly, Skrit knew a bunch of synonyms for shiny. Urchik couldn't scamper with the others like before, so Skrit looked for a new home. Right here, with Glade.
Sorry, I was just looking at my inventory. It's getting a little crammed. Cabrammed, you might even say. It's okay. At some point, surely we'll hit the Wizard's Tower, and then I can hit a bank. Start taking a bit. It's okay. They would not possibly make me do another bunch of rifts. Right? Right, Cat? Right. Okay, we're good. Good morning, Braven. I mean, the last quest was immediate. It was do a bunch of rifts, go talk to people, go do a bunch of rifts. There was no in-between steps. So... But it looks like that won't be the gimmick this time. Let's see. Complete one event in the heart of Maguma. Harvest 10 resources with a sickle. Yes, Darkrai. You see these inventory slots up here? Yeah, I paid for those. I think you get 3... I don't actually remember. You get several to start. I don't remember how many. Don't ask me. Apparently 5 from buying expansions.
My stein is too dry. I can't feel anything at all. The last glimpse was of Cryptis. A whole horde of them.
We'll continue to hope for the best until circumstances point otherwise. Heard that you've been a great help in sealing the rifts.
Yeah, that's all I've been doing, apparently.
I'm starting to understand why you kept this a secret for so long.
And there is more to come.
We were just discussing the path forward, Dagda.
The tower is confused. It doesn't know what's happening.
It's sentient?
The magic that flows within has demonstrated some level of awareness. It reacts to danger.
I always imagined it as an extension of Isgarin himself.
The tower calls to all of us, but it prefers Isgarin's voice in response. In his absence, it doesn't know what to do.
Which is where we come in. Now, there are a few ways we can calm our feisty lump of bricks.
And I assume none of them are easy. So, what's the plan?
Lear and I will push toward the fractal of Draknar's forge.
You can either assist us, or you can help collect essences.
Distilled magic and emotion. It's potent among the fractals.
We're collecting emotion, essentially. We did something like that in Kantha. There was a demon in Sholmu's mine, gang leader. Was that a Cryptis?
Correct. And your demon was likely a wanderer. Demons who do not affiliate with Eparch's little society. Cryptis or not, demons are drawn to emotion, like Risen are drawn to blood.
And this place must be a banquet.
Morbid, but yes. We'll need to calm things down here before we can approach the tower. I trust you'll choose the right direction.
Sure. Optional. Go do events. Now, we're not going to do that. But...
like prey waiting to be killed.
Wait. Do we have to?
What? Aether.
Ah, soon, my king.
Why would it be vetoed, Relictum? Also, hi. Hang on. Missing facet. Oh. So that was not very clear. Yeah, the mission objective is to either to do the meta, like the meta for the zone, or to just do random events. AKA rifts. Although apparently the meta might be soon. Let's check the timer. Well, good news. It's not Relictum. Let's see. Yep, unlocking the tower. It starts in 1 minute.
Are you ready for another try, old friend?
Until I'm rejoined, I don't really think I'm going to be able to control the forge well enough.
I'm afraid we're running out of both time and options. We have to try.
You always manage to talk me into these things. Fine. Come to the forge and we'll lay out the plan.
We could use your help as well, Commander.
And yes, you are correct. Meta usually tends to be the last thing. So where is the meta? Where does it start? Is that it? I gotta go. Like, it just started. Oh no, it's about to start in 9 seconds. Here we go. Draknar's Light. Okay, so that is up here. Let's head up here. No, believe it or not, lesbian has nothing to do with sex, as weird as that sounds. It's not a porn thing. It's just a preference thing. Like, imagine if I was playing a game called Super Heterosexual Animals RPG. Like, doesn't mean anything. Yeah. So there's no one here.
With molten metal looking for it? If you don't bring it back right now, I'll use you to quench this sword.
Sure. They're another thing. Join in. Well, there's a couple of us. So what are we doing? Essence of Awe. Damn right, Darkrai. I'm into the women's. And that's it. There's nothing else about me.
Keep going, Commander. Just like that.
So, having done a convergence before, this looks very familiar.
Don't stop yet. We need as much as we can gather.
What? No, I totally had that. Least populated zone in the game. Honestly, they do a really good job of keeping old zones relevant, but it's still probably something in vanilla. Like one of the zones they never went to in any story. You're probably thinking, which zones are those? These ones up here that I don't even have explored on the map. These zones.
I can't believe we finally pulled that off.
Or ore.
And yet...
It still isn't enough. I see our mistake now. We captured only one facet, but we need the whole spectrum.
So we'll have to gather essence of every facet that leaked out from the tower.
Essence. Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry, Lear, but I don't know if I can do it.
Then we'll do it together. It's gonna be up to you to gather it, Commander. You'll have to scour these islands for essence of each facet. The Ward will assist, of course, but we're entrusting this to you.
We'll stay here and try to keep it going as long as we can.
I like how one of my objectives is kill 10 enemies under nourishment effect. I have a nourishment effect. Why have I gotten no progress on that? Alright, where are we going? Oh, anywhere over here. Sure. I can do that.
Good, you're here. The native fauna are even more agitated than usual. I'm not sure exactly what the wizards are doing to pull out this essence, but it's certainly having a strong effect. There's plenty around, but you may have to extract more from the local wildlife, as a last resort.
Sure thing, Callista. Quick question, who are you? Right.
Such a shame that these creatures were forced into Tyria. They're really quite majestic when they're left to themselves.
I mean, there's a reason everyone does Octo like clockwork, like, every time it comes up. Hey, Zakdeft. Again?
I can't imagine what would happen if the Cryptus got access to this much leyline energy. Better not to think about it.
It. Never regretted having Spectral Agony, and I never will.
That should be enough for now. Thank you. The rest of the creatures here can be spared. I'll continue to monitor the situation here to make sure things don't get any worse.
Right. Oh my god, that freaking mushroom. I hate these mushrooms. I hate these mushrooms. Oh yeah, I guess it's 4th of July tomorrow. I'm probably going to be comforting a poor cat who's freaking out about the fireworks. You'll be okay. Not that I am a part of any such thing, but if I gotta tell you, if there was a day to rebel against the current regime of this government in the United States, tomorrow would be the day. Just perfect time to do that, really. Anyways, okay, so are we, like, we've got 4 or 5. What are we still needing? We still need over here. Okay. But yeah, Christmas is a much bigger thing.
I can't believe this plan is finally working.
The worst is yet to come. Forging the key is going to pull a lot from you. There are dangers that come with that.
I've survived worse. It's gotta be done, Mabon. So we might as well get to it.
I would actually agree Halloween is a little bit bigger. Just a bit. There it is. I'm a little biased there, because nieces. But that's the point, isn't it? The kids are way more into Halloween than they are into July 4th. The Super Bowl. Depends on who's playing. There have been a few Super Bowls, even amongst people I know who are very into American football, where the whole response has basically been, oh, it's such and such versus such and such. Yeah, that's a gimme.
We'll deal with the consequences.
Oh god, I don't remember where the stupid path is. Whatever. Down I go. Yeah, screw the Chiefs. No offense to any Chiefs fans. But you're literally Hitler.
Bring that essence back. We can't afford to lose it. No. We can't afford to lose this much.
That's sort of what I was talking about earlier, Mr. Ed. I've been thinking about it. Anytime, I have this little mental thing when I'm reviewing a game. Anytime I haven't given any positives or negatives for a while, there's like this check that goes off in the back of my mind, like, hang on. Are you missing anything?
What in the world is this?
And if I do my double check and I think, well, nope, I didn't miss anything.
Blood.
No, here we are.
Stay with us. Being exposed to this much raw essence may cause troubling memories to rise.
Essence.
Are those mine?
Oh, Thanksgiving's another bigger one. No, Colgrim is right. I was thinking about this because Giga made a random comment yesterday, which stuck with me. Thanks, Giga! She made the comment. Thank you, Giga. You've been awesome. Even Pax commented on how awesome you've been for this run, so I wanted to relay that as well. Giga mentioned that she enjoys the other game of Secrets more than the MSQ. And that just sort of stuck with me, because I've actually done a decent amount of the other game of Secrets. Mostly for dailies and weeklies and progress on legendaries.
Focus. I need you here, in this moment.
And honestly, yeah. The other game of Secrets is decent. A little treadmill-y, but it's decently designed treadmill. And you'll notice the MSQ has been, hey, go do the other game. Okay, now go do the other game. Okay, here's a very brief story snippet. Okay, now go do the other game. 3 times in a row, by the way, we're at right now. Go do rifts, go do rifts, go do the meta. Or rifts. Now, I don't think that's good, to be honest. But I do think that's probably the best they could do with the bad hand they were dealt at this point in time. The developers.
An offer? Wait, what do you mean? A deception? But why would he?
I see it now. An empty promise. The illusion of a choice.
It was your choice. You did it because you believed in it. And you still believe in it. Push them out and you can do this. We can do this. Together.
Oh, geez. Janther's the same way? Well, I know Janther has like an hour and a half of cutscenes before we even get started. Ask me how I know. Let me pull up my spear here for no particular reason. Janther has one last story patch to my knowledge, too.
That's it.
I think. Could someone confirm deny that? Because I had a thought about that recently.
There's no telling what the Cryptists will do if they gain full control of it. Well, let's get back home.
This place was my home before you fooled me into leaving it. What other tricks have you played on me? On everyone?
If you're gonna be running around my workshop, at least
No more
clean
of your
up after
lies.
yourself.
I will fix this on my own.
Of course not. Make a mess and leave it for me, like I'm not busy enough already.
I have to go after him. He didn't mean what he... Let me handle this. We can still get him back.
Okay.
I found Lear, and he's in stasis now, but the situation is dire. Forging the key made him vulnerable to a deep corruption, and it's wound its tendrils around him. I'll try to untangle it from him, but I can't do it alone. Please, help me save my friend.
No, I have ley lines now. For the first time in how many years it's been since Heart of Thorns came out, I have ley lines. Staying in the middle. Where's Giga? Where's Giga? Is that Giga? Is that Giga? No, that's not Giga. Where's the Giga? Not over there either. Oh, there's the Giga. I found the Giga. Burn, Giga. No, she dodged. What is ley lines?
May be stable, but his mind is adrift.
A mastery chart from Heart of Thorns.
Cryptists are trying to burrow their way in, and he's in no state to stop them on his own. It falls to me instead. The memory snares around the platform will isolate the memories, weakening Lear, and reveal the threats inside of them. If we lose the snares, there will be no way to control them.
Rock boils up from below, and the end
Tread
comes
carefully.
with it.
The manifestations of his memories will be as real as anything else. I will separate the threats as best I can. Now go!
I am approximately a third of the way through moving Relictum. It went about as well as it could go. No! Ah!
Good. The first one is... That's it. Only one more is needed. The snares are ready.
No, for Lipton, I do not.
Projectors. But you'll have to handle the rest. Those below must protect the snares, while those above handle whatever manifests from the memories.
Hurry! Everyone inside! Those bastards are coming and we're out of time! Bran, get ready to seal those doors on...
Oh yeah, Stone Summit. Hey Giga, the Stone Summiter from Guild Wars 1. We killed a lot of them. A lot. But no, if you can't tell by the fact that I'm basically in a closet with no set, a vacuum right there, and terrible audio quality, and terrible visual quality. This is the temporary setup for the... It's not as bad as it was when I was in the other temporary setup, I'll give you that.
We'll have peace again soon. Another memory excised. Keep pushing forward.
I do have functional internet.
To his more recent memories. We have to hurry. They couldn't contain the power in the memory snares. We'll need to charge them again. I am sorry, friends.
Yeah, the house hasn't even sold yet, Relictive. That's kind of what we're all waiting on right now.
I won't fail you, my friend. Split up. We must cleanse the corruption from all three memories.
What are you damn things doing here?
Honestly, ditto, Blade Jamal. It's priced to sell in a neighborhood where things are not only more expensive, by quite a bit, I might add, but in an area which is moving houses pretty quickly in general, and at a time in which things are selling pretty quickly in general. Like, it's more or less impossible to sell it, do more to get it sold than what we're already doing. I actually thought about that, Blade 12, just straight up asking for more. Nothing we can do about it at this point.
Another Cryptus.
To really put this into perspective, some of the other houses in the same neighborhood that are for sale right now are going for $300,000 more. Most of them are smaller, too. Ask me again when I'm done with Janthir, Evan, because I kind of want to see what they've already done before I come up with any ideas. Also, I hate the skateboard enemies. Always have.
Snare went down. Have to get it back up quickly.
Oh, God. Ah!
Get that snare back up quickly.
Working on it. God, Illidan. I mean, Kane.
Good. It's working again. Charge again. Not a moment too soon.
Are you done? I probably wouldn't mind as much, but I'm a melee, so chasing this guy is just not worth my time. And off he goes.
No, the Cryptis are distorting the devices. You have to destroy the memory snares to stop them. It's the only way.
Oh, okay. Sorry, we're about to get rid of all your memories. FYI. Well, we know the new expansion is going to involve a bard and a chunk of armor, which could be guardian or warrior.
Go and help the others.
I guess Revenant, too. I don't know, Revenant usually has, despite the fact that they wear heavy armor, they've not been the I have a giant metal plate helmet thing on type of class. Like, just conceptually, you know? Unlike Warrior and Guardian, who have. Honestly, ditto Riker's Beard. It was probably my least likely pick of what the Bard, the loot thing was when they first showed it. And then it's like, oh, here's what it is. It's like, oh, it really is just that. That's really is just what they're doing. It's more elite specs. Huh.
Hurry! Have to bring them. Turning their focus to Lear. They're desperate. Everyone to me. Now is our chance to finish them.
It's actually wildly insane that they managed that, to be honest with you. One. Please.
Lear.
Oh, whatever.
Lear. Can you hear me?
Ah, would you quit shouting? Got enough of a headache as it is. But I do feel better with that nonsense off my mind.
It is a relief to see you well, my friend.
Well then, what do you say we get back home?
So this is it. The tower that your wizards keep talking about.
This guard is ridiculous with the security here.
I haven't seen anything like it.
It's a floating tower.
Looks
It's our home
perfect.
now, even if it's just a part of it. Let's enjoy that while we can.
Normal. That's almost a compliment coming from you.
Here that would help us open
It's...
So many ritual books.
Can't
here, there's
quite
bound to
place
be
my
something in at
fingers
least one of them.
Could you guys stop talking over each other?
Have fingers.
Very funny.
I was manufactured to the highest standards.
Ah, only one ecto out of that. Well, let's go get my chests. Wherever they are. Oh no, it's something I've already, complained about. In fact, Pax mentioned the only character he doesn't like in this entire expansion is Petha, or Petha, however you say your stupid name. And, this whole time I'm like, okay, granted, I'm a little bit biased here because I'm currently playing a Sylvari, but we've already dealt with Mordremoth. We've been down this road. Oh, yeah. And Jormag. Thank you for reminding me. I knew there was another one. Based on what I've seen already, Giga, I bet you money that Epark is one of those non-characters. Zitans. I'm just going to start calling him that. Who are you? I'm a Zitan. Cool. Do you regret losing your memories?
No, I don't. There's a lot that is missing since I joined the Wizards, but I've got a lot of memories with them. What made those memories special also made them dangerous to our enemies.
Affirmative.
Our work is too important to risk that. Besides, just because I don't remember it doesn't mean it didn't happen. For me, for us, that has to be enough.
You feeling better?
I'm getting there. It was rough for a while, having those things crawling around in my head. Luckily, that stiff kick to the head you gave me is just what the doctor ordered. Sometimes that's what it takes. But if you had any lingering doubts about how serious the situation is, hopefully this has cleared them.
I mean, it's technically Sid Meier's Pirates, but we started running into a weird problem where there were so many games in the list, or the queue, excuse me, that I couldn't actually fit it all into one message. So, it's just Pirates. So if the key only partly worked, what do we do now?
We will need to find additional solutions, it seems. But things are in motion, and there is value in that. For now, we should enjoy this victory. We're only given so many of these, after all.
Do you feel guilty about ripping people's memories out of them and effectively killing them?
Of course. We pay a heavy cost to join the Order, and that mantle weighs heavy on my shoulders even after all this time. But if we are going to make decisions for all of Tyria, we must be free of entanglements with it. No one joins the court without understanding that, though. I'm proud of each of them. Their sacrifice is not lost on me.
I mean, they sound like Jedi. Alright, you need to go join the Wizard faction, who sits off and deals with threats above and beyond what most other people are even aware of. But in order to go, you have to lose all connections and attachments to the rest of the world, along with your memories.
Maybe so. I'll admit, there's been little time for rest around here as of late. But when I see the strength of my fellows on the court, the courage of the ward, I know this is where I belong. The truth is, even in these dark times, there's nowhere I'd rather be.
I mean, we know the Jedi can remove memories. Revan says hello.
So this is it. The tower that your wizards keep talking about.
I haven't seen anything like it.
Oh, absolutely, Culver. Like, I'll actually explain what this sounds like to me. Hang on. Is everyone going to talk? We good? Can I talk? Can I say something? Okay. I made this joke yesterday casually, but I meant it sincerely. You've taken your first step into a larger world, is the vibe that it feels like they're constantly trying to shove down our throats. And I'm not buying any of it. It's sort of hard to... Yeah, we're still in a squad. It's sort of hard to do that when you've already done the scale and scope of what we've done at this point in time. To begin with, it's still possible, we've already given examples of how you can do this, but the problem is they're trying to make this seem like the big, fantastical, mystical, upper layer, high fantasy thing, right? Like, oh yes, you've been fighting against local threats, but did you know that the whole rest of the galaxy exists, right? That kind of a vibe. And I'm like, okay. And everyone here is talking with that kind of vibe and tone and approach, and the dialogue has been indicating that, the visuals have been indicating it. It's very clear they're trying really hard to be like, all right, let's just go off into Nana land to try and up things into a whole different layer. And the whole time I'm just like, okay. Like, tiers of adventuring are a very, very, very old concept, right? You fight bandits, you fight wolves, you fight local corrupt lords, you fight, like a missummoned demon or one undead monster or whatever. And you go up in tiers until you're fighting, bigger stuff like liches and werewolves and dragons, and you go another tier up, and then you get another tier up, and you go another tier up. So I get what they're going for. I just don't think they're succeeding.
It's so much larger up close.
That is what she said.
Many facades over time. The inside, however, has remained the same.
So, what's the plan?
With those essences in hand, I can shatter the gate's lock. Just takes a good lick of concentrated magic to calm it down.
Whatever we encounter inside, I should be able to disarm it in Iskarin's absence.
You do whatever you need to, Mabon. I'll guard you.
Without further ado...
Behind me. All of you.
Also, it kind of irritates me that the best character so far is this little Skrit, who is also fangirling over us. Like, surely we can have a good character without having someone who's licking our boots the entire time.
We need to clear out the courtyard immediately.
Dwarf's fine. Kane is fine. Skrit was immediately amazing. Like, just instantaneously. I mean, I like all three characters I just mentioned. But if you maybe put a gun to my head, which you do all the time, I would go ahead and put my money on Taimi 2 over there.
Even Skrit is growing tired. They never pause to smell the air.
That's a good point. In this economy, gunpowder, that's getting hard to come by. Would you stop that, please? The actress does help, I'm not gonna lie. Something I was talking about recently on the BioWare channels. Presentation is a huge part of character. I honestly think most people underestimate how much an actor adds to a role.
How did they get inside?
Good morning, Mook. Hope you're doing well. And where's the auction house?
Hear me, old friend. Is that... Who is that? There I am. With me, Commander. We need to... Whoa there! Don't take a swing at me, you half-witted headache.
Okay. Let's go ahead and kill Lear then. Yeah, oh my god, it's a Mersat! And a dwarf! And I guess Zoja too.
Voices! Turn your veins to Deldramor. Count the astral planes. 1, 2. In your head. In your head.
Skrit is here to remind Lears to behave.
Yeah, exactly, Calder. But we are above all... You know what? Men in Black. Although Men in Black does a good job of this exact same vibe. You know the type. You've just taken your first step into a larger world. I think it's actually what TV Tropes calls it.
Commander, channel the Heart's power to pull the Crypt's corruption from inside him. Me, the other one. Quickly! Destroy the demonic parasite before it returns and heals him!
Sure. Honestly, it's the same thing Harry Potter tried and honestly kind of failed at.
We are calm. How many astral planes did you count? 48. What? That's 2 more than...
We've no time for banter, Lear. The fight is hardly done. If I can channel the tower, we can quell its storm.
That feels like foreshadowing.
You still able to fight? I should be. Good. Because you spent enough time taking swings at us instead of the Cryptis, you lout.
Focus!
Keep them away from me, or I'll lose my grasp.
Sure thing, Illidan. That sounded like Illidan right there. I must save the entire world single-handedly. Drive safe, Colgan.
Fighting them all. Do not desist. Not yet.
Also, I think all of the... Oh, I forget what the genre was called. The young adult style of books that they turned every single one of into a movie. I know I'm being so specific here. Ah!
It's starting to come. I need your strength.
Oh god, what are those called? Yeah, like Twilight or Divergence or Hunger Games was one of them. Percy Jackson was one of them. Anyways, all of those try this trick. Every single one of them. The you've taken your first step into a larger world trick.
We are your friends.
Maze Runners. Oh my god, Maze Runners. See, that I'm not saying I disagree that that's called young adult, but that feels insulting, doesn't it? To call that just young adult. I feel like that should be a subgenre of young adult.
Levon, are you okay?
I just need to rest my spirit.
Let me take a look at you.
Oh, thank the stars. You live.
I'm okay, Dagda. I'm fine.
Younger adult. Juvenile adult. Juvenile adult. J.A.
I need a leash for you both. I'm sure there were more intuitive ways to handle that situation.
Shh. It's ready for us.
Finally. Let's head inside.
Anyways, all the juvenile adult stories all try that same thing. You've taken your first step in a larger world. Congratulations, you're the son of Zeus! Or no, sorry, Poseidon. You're the son of Poseidon. Congratulations, you're a wizard. Congratulations, you're, you're the one divergent. Congratulations, you're the super scientist who figured out the thing. And blah, 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 blah. I do like how they're giving me mastery points as we go. I don't remember if that was always a thing. It's been a minute. Yeah, it's always you're the chosen one. Which I'm not a big fan of course. Sure, I guess.
Begin destruction protocol.
Oh, I got a glob of dark matter out of that. I don't care, but that's interesting. No, well, maybe Judo Joker? I don't know. That's actually an interesting question. I've never thought about that before. I don't know, is the truthful answer to that question.
We need to make sure the southern wings are clear before we unlock the whole of Confluence. Zoja, Urchik, and Gladium with me. We'll head east.
We'll head to the west. Frode, you know. Dagda.
Go with the group that needs you the most, Commander.
Gee, I can be with Twitface McGee and 3 strangers, or the Skrit. And the Mersat. Done.
Stay close. Eyes up.
I know that's...
Doesn't like to see the wizard's tower in such a state.
Me neither.
Don't paralyze yourself with fear. We will expel them.
But yeah, sorry. Judo Joker is referring to Avatar The Last Airbender, not Avatar the I want to make tons and tons of money by throwing CGI cat girls on the screen. No offense to anyone who likes the Avatar films. You know me. Hate the movie, not the viewer. But screw those movies and everything about them. I mean, I could get really analytical if you want, Mr. Red, but I don't think there's any value in it. People like the idea of being special, and people like the idea of being special without having to work for it. Chosen one. Done. How to make a truckload of money better? Okay, first start selling weapons. Done. Inquisition did an interesting take on the Chosen One, which I actually enjoyed. I won't even spoil it right here, but I did enjoy what they did with that. Which I suppose immediately answers Judo Joker's questions. Let me put it this way. I would say that almost every Chosen One story that succeeds does so by not actually being a Chosen One story. Right? It's not actually the concept, the trope, the narrative idea of what a Chosen One means. It looks like it is, but when the story progresses and you get further into it, it's like, oh, this is what's actually happening. Those stories tend to work for me a lot better. There's quite a few of those. And yeah, I've already spoiled too much, so Dragon Age Inquisition. Or yeah, Morrowind.
I still don't know how this happened. Did they make it inside before the defenses activated?
I don't know. My quarters are sealed to protect...
Honestly, Oblivion. While we're on the subject.
It's more for your safety than mine.
We better hurry, Script things.
Yeah, by contrast, Skyrim is a straight Chosen One story. You are the Chosen One. The end. Like, there's no layers, there's no additional nothing. You're the Chosen One. The first thing that does anything with that in Skyrim is the DLC, which I can't remember the name of. The second DLC. But even then, you are still the Chosen One. I would argue that Lufia 2 is not a Chosen One story. It's a kid's show! Sorry. Dragonborn, Mook. The second one. But there were like 5 DLCs, Lar! Well, yeah, I know, obviously. Grand Nagus Mook. Yeah, you notice we're just talking about other stories while doing this MSQ. I've been streaming for a long time. Over a decade now, actually. And let me tell you, the surest sign that we have nothing to talk about the game we're playing right now is when we're just drifting onto anything else. I know that actually happens a lot, especially in an MMO, but really think about it. Think about how much time and effort we spent actually discussing Guild Wars 2 during Path of Fire, or doing End of Dragons. We had a lot of ground to cover there, and a lot of things to discuss, and now we're just sitting here fighting this Champion of Rage for 5 years, because the Cryptus managed to invade the tower, we don't know why, and so we're trying to take the tower back. If you think about it from steps, I like to do this every now and again. Think about plots, that is to say the sequence of events in a story, in terms of steps. It's a great way to determine sequencing and structure to a story. So how many steps are we into the story? The answer is 2. We have gotten here, and now we're reclaiming the spot that was claimed by the Cryptus. 1, 2. What are you guys doing, and why are you not helping me with this stupid fight? If only Giga was here! What are they? They're just totally ignoring this boss. And I cannot hang in this nonsense. But yes, I would say your more or less typical subversion of analyzing the whys and wherefores of a Chosen One story could hypothetically work. I admittedly can't think of an example of that off the top of my head. But anyways, going back to Guild Wars 2 for a second. Nothing's happened. That's what I'm trying to get at. I think Giga really did hit the nail on the head. She is so smart and amazing. You should go, like, give her a thumbs up or something. Because this really is just the other game with an excuse plot to get you to it. You see this guy we're fighting right here? Yeah, this guy is a Rift boss that we're fighting in the MSQ. And we've had to do rifts, and a meta, which involve doing rifts. I wouldn't be surprised if later there's a convergence as part of the MSQ. Admittedly, I haven't had the time to spend the brain power on it, Judo. I'm sorry.
The east is clear.
As is the west.
Together, we recite the unlit moon.
Without Isgarin?
Zojja.
Me? I couldn't.
You must. Come. We won't let the flow overwhelm you.
I'm sure whatever terrors that still linger in these halls will come crawling the moment we begin. Stand ready, all of you.
We sit underneath an unlit moon.
Water pools beneath our feet.
It burns!
No questions, no mistakes. Just flawless execution. A Cryptus.
Well, you see... So, near as I can piece together, and admittedly, this is talking about having done several convergences. Near as I can tell, what happened is the wizards have been doing a regular job of defending the dimensional barriers and being the dimensional cops until, I can't remember his name, united a group of demons, specifically, and actually turned them into an organized force. That is why they're suddenly causing issues, because there's actually an army of demons, as opposed to just, you know, whatever random demon slipped through the cracks. So they were dealing with the increasing outbreak of those demons. One of them happened to be near us. We very coincidentally found out about it, thanks to Ivan. We happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, got sucked in, and got dumped out here. And now we're helping because we're the commander, which is the only part of that whole story I don't mind. And yeah, near as I can tell, we're here because we're the badass. Now, can someone in chat tell me what's wrong with that? There's actually two things that are wrong with it, if you want to get into it. Correct. Thing number one is, we're the commander. Not the warrior of light, not the champion, the commander. We had a whole discussion about this, and how Guild Wars 2, in other expansions, did a really good job of maintaining that particular flavor of the main character. We give orders, we coordinate, we unify. We are Commander Shepard. We're not all that badass in a fight, compared to a lot of the other stuff we're going up against, and unify against those things. We're the Captain America. Why are we here as the heavy? Because that's what we've been this entire time, is we're the heavy. Have you noticed that? We're also the chosen one, because we're the ones who can use the super amazing magical artifact that nobody else can figure out how to use in order to close the rift. Now, you could argue that this is a transition from being the commander into being the total badass champion. And you know what? In a better executed story, I could see that, but I don't think they've managed that. Which brings me to the second, slightly more interesting problem here. It's a little more quiet. See, even if you accept the fact that we're the heavy, as we've already discussed, it is debatable, although never canified, that one of the reasons that we can hang with the level of power that we do is the fact that we have a direct pipeline to the Elder Dragon. Aurene is directly connected to us on basically every way, and is actively working on leyline stuff. That was what that goodbye was. There's essentially no way she wouldn't be involved in this if we are indeed tapping into her to become the heavy, the Hulk here. I mean, you're right, Scumlord. That's exactly the truth. I'm just dissecting it in-universe, because out-of-universe, it's like, yeah, no, duh. Out-of-universe, we've talked about this. We talked about this during End of Dragons. They were forced to keep going. They had no plans to keep going. This is the result. I am very curious what Janther is going to manage with this, because this is clearly hodgepodged. I'm even curious if this is going to end in this. Like, most of the previous expansions have stories that spread across expansions. I'm curious if the Cryptus will be a solved problem by the end of Secrets. What are we the commander of? That's a good question. I have also noticed that we have a lot less lines than usual. And once again, every single time that happens, it's because of the fact that they're trying to save money, because we have, 10 voice actors for ourselves. And it is substantially cheaper and easier to have Zojja over there say her one line 4 times than to have 10 separate actors come in and do their 4 lines 4 times. There's one more expansion move. I mean, the funny thing is, what we're the commander of is, in general, we give orders and people listen to us because we generally know what we're freaking talking about.
Zojja! Are you okay? You did so well, little one.
I saw... What was that?
It could have been 1,000 things. We tapped into Tyria itself. That burn was the world looking back.
Is Aurene being like, ah.
That's a lot to process.
Here, let us enter the Hall of Confluence. There's much to... I don't know how much longer I can resist them. The Whispers are... eager. My dear friends, don't fret. We have survived the Elder Dragons, rogue gods.
What's this we business?
The world doesn't comprehend how resilient it is. The Cryptus won't be our end. They are vulnerable, ignorant. I only ask one thing of you. When the hour arrives, do not hesitate.
Please don't make me kill Illidan. I mean, Kain.
That was a bit cryptic. Even for you.
I suppose some Mersat habits lasted beyond my ascension. I can hear Iskaran. He's out there, somewhere, struggling. I need to go to him. We will meet soon.
Be safe, my friend.
We need to repair the astral translocator. We can't power our portal infrastructure without it. Our true home rests in the clouds above. Once our portals can access the flow again, we'll take you to the bastions. There are 6 bastion keys. The Astral Ward was able to hide some of them from the Cryptus, but they're not all accounted for. I need eyes everywhere until we've located them all. Check in with the others. The Hall of Confluence is a mess. We should tend to whatever needs doing before we depart.
What? I'm sorry, Giga. I'm just... Okay. Recently, I had to drive 2 hours, basically, in a row. In severe heat, so that was fun. But anybody who's done any kind of a decent... Like, that sounds like just kind of medium-length drive. But anyone who's not done any kind of a long-term drive knows that at a certain point, even the stuff you do to keep yourself entertained on a drive turns into noise, right? That's why conversation with someone, or playing D&D or whatever, is something that helps, because it keeps you engaged, keeps your brain focused, right? You keep doing so you can pass the time better. But everything else just kind of dissolves into noise at a certain point. At a certain point, I remember this because when I was driving back the most recent time, the 4th of the 4 trips, I was alone because I dropped him off to get his motorcycle. So I was just driving back alone in the heat. And I hit a certain point where I had to start doing this in order to keep myself fully cognizant, because I was just so, like, the music I was listening to, I couldn't even really hear it anymore at a certain point. It was just noise. Anyways, that's what this is. I'm just like, yep, there's 6 bastion keys. What? Yes. The Astral Ward was able to hide some of them from the Cryptus. There's nothing there. I'm barely hearing it. Okay, this is all done. The drives I just did were primarily highways and state roads. It was like 14 miles of this one, and then 15 miles of this one, and 11 miles of this one. Alright, we all know the best character, so we're gonna ask her.
Do you need any help, Urchik?
Oh, oh my. If the commander is offering, huh? Urchik needs to collect all of the misplaced artifacts. Could you come with Skrit to find them?
Sure.
Anything you need.
Well, I hope your convergences go well. Yeah, I'm trying not to be too negative. And again, I don't think most of this is negative territory. I'm just like... It's fine. we're cool, I guess. Yeah, de-invested is a good word. This is... I don't know what I was expecting after End of Dragons, but this wasn't it. I mean, End of Dragons had some holes and had some flaws, but man. And hell, Path of Fire and Season 4 withstood even Bram. Think about that. That's how good those two were. That's how good Path of Fire was. Even Bram couldn't bring down Path of Fire. You've got to be kidding me. This is one of those... Okay, I'm just going to Google this. Hang on. No, we're good. We're good. This is Tower of Oh, God, we're still on Tower of Secrets? We're still in Act 2. These quests are huge. Okay. Hang on. Sorry, you know me. When I say Path of Fire, I am including Season 4. He showed up as soon as Palawa Joko entered back into the equation. Oh, that's it! Palawa Joko was so awesome, he, like, counterbalanced Bram. That's what it is. Okay, balance. Bastion of Balance. Bastion of Balance. Bastion of Balance. There we go. Okay. Livia?
Livia? Is that you?
Oh, you. They'll let just about anyone in here, won't they?
Lord.
You're in the Astral Ward. What happened to the Shining Blade?
I'm an honorary member. Didn't quite take to Wayfinder myself when Iskarin bestowed it on me. I am always a blade. We worked together over the years. Mabon and I. He loves Divinity's Reach, especially fond of the food. Before you ask, I have eyes. I know that Mabon is a Mersat. It was not an easy bond to make. We can chat more of that later.
I think Divinity's Reach is a little stuffy for my taste, but fair. It's nice to see another friendly face up here.
I wish I wasn't. I don't like being off the ground too long, but things are especially sinister. The Bastions, as you'll soon learn, are struggling to keep the Cryptis at bay. Something is stirring in the clouds. I can feel it, gently brushing my skin. Dagda and Lear will be aiding us on the front. I wouldn't mind seeing your face in that crowd either.
Oh, 100% Riker's Beard. I'm just glad Braum has totally left the narrative and is never coming back. I have no idea if he's coming back or not, if it's not obvious. I mean, Sam Riegel's done tons of stuff. And he is a good actor, so no complaints there. Just think, someday I may actually have my Warclaw leveled up too, so it'll actually be my new Raptor. Okay, hold on. I think I'm a tier too low. So here's the Astral Ward. Okay, yeah, Head east. Out the doors. Okay. Then south down the steps. Beneath the last... Oh, hang on, no. Oh, I'm reading the wrong thing. Damn it, whatever. Mysterious energy. Okay, there's a mysterious energy here. Aha! There it is. Okay, riddle. When you have me, you want to share me, but when you share me, you no longer have me. A secret. That's actually really easy. Oh, I don't know, Zactaf. That's a tough one. Yeah, this feels... So, almost every MMO, WoW is really big on this, has a, here's the new capital city quest, right? It's actually something that goes back a ways. GTAs used to do this all the time. I mean, even GTA 3, functionally the first GTA game, had a here's the new city thing. Wrong one. There it is. This feels like that, but irritating. Here's the Wizard's Tower. Yeah, I've seen the Wizard's Tower. It's actually extremely well laid out, and all of this thing you're doing right now is pointless. All right. Head east outdoors. Okay. And then south down the steps. Okay. Yeah, exactly, Blitto. It's a really common form of quest, and for good reason. Okay, so. Turn left at the bottom of the steps and go forwards, keeping close to the left wall until you see a book. Okay, just gonna keep hugging that left wall. There we go. Gonna keep hugging that left wall. Okay. Oh my god. Confidential reports. Okay, that's not what I want. I'm looking for Everyone Loves Wizards. Okay. Aha! Way over here. Okay. Everyone loves wizards. Although, actually, while we're here, hang on. Is this it? There you go, Urchek. Okay. Ah! See, I'm a weird one, Rector Spirit. I actually really value a good tutorial. But the problem is I'm spoiled. I've played Nintendo games. And let me tell you, Nintendo games know how to do frickin' tutorialization just to a T. I don't like using words like diegetic, but they do. You get my point. I mean, even Super Mario Brothers 1 is a textbook example of good tutorialization in a game. And E1M1 over in Doom 1. And yeah, Super Mario World, the entire game. Yeah, no, exactly. Good tutorialization is, here's everything nicely laid out in a way that makes sense. You can put it together. And this is important. You don't have to. I know that sounds weird, but if I'm like, hold up. All right, I need you to walk forward 3 feet and then right 3 feet. Just warp back. Okay, walk forward 3 feet and right 3 feet. And 1, 2, 3. You went 4 feet forward. Warps you back here. Okay, now go forward 3 feet and then go right 3 feet. Now, that sounds like an exaggeration. If it does, you have not played as many games as I have. Anyways, let me jot down a negative for this quest really quick while we're here. Just while we're here. Anyways. To put it into very, very abstracted words, 1-1 in Super Mario Brothers 1 is a tutorial. The whole stage is a tutorial. The first screen is a tutorial. The first 5 screens are tutorials. But it doesn't... None of that's mandated, if that makes any sense. You have to go through 1-1. But the method by which you go through 1-1 is entirely up to you. And there are multiple options. There's shortcuts, there's alternate paths, there's ups, there's downs, there's bonus power-ups, there's enemies which you can dodge or kill or whatever. You can go through that however you want to. Nobody is grabbing your hand and saying, look, this is how you play the game. But it is all laid out in a manner so that people who've never played a video game before ever, which was their audience if you remember, can sit down and be like, oh, okay. Sorry. I could gush forever about Nintendo tutorials. Don't get me started. I apologize. So we got that. Head east outdoors. Okay. Honestly, I wonder sometimes how much bad tutorialization comes from developers thinking that every player's a moron. And I know that there's some evidence of that. But I kind of disagree with that evidence. I do think that if you treat your players like they have a functioning brain, they tend to. Oh, that's a good point, Krakenson. I hadn't even thought about that. Sorry, I didn't mean to assume that we all know how to read. Okay, you know what? Hang on. Oh, artifact chest. I mean, there's a reason the phrase lowest common denominator exists when it comes to game design. Or dumbing down. I tend to hate the phrase dumbing down Because in my experience, a lot of players will point to things that are demonstrably good game design and say, they're dumbing it down. And that irritates me because there is such a thing as dumbing it down. Like, that is a real concept and a real problem. Where's that armor? I'm ready. Wow, it's literally just giving us Spectral Agony here. That's sort of messed up, actually. Don't worry, I won't bring up WoW as a concept of dumbed down, because I have a much easier example of that. I know a lot of people who think EU4 is dumbed down from CK2. Am I done? No? Okay, I guess we'll just keep enduring. Look, we all know I'm absolutely terrible at video games, but Jesus Christ, surely I'm better than that nonsense. Right? Right, guys? Mr. Red, tell me I'm better than that. Lie to me, Mr. Red. Todd Howard to me. Oh, God. There have been a few games, please don't ask me for examples because I can't think of one off the top of my head, where an executive has said, well, I can't understand such and such you're doing, dumb it down. And the developers did, because that's their job. They didn't want to get fired. And the game sucked as a result. I know Sega did this. But I don't remember what game series that was. It might have been the Sonics, because there was a period of time there where the Sonics were not very good. I think that's the nicest possible way I could say that. This is a long quest. I'm using a walkthrough, by the way. Just to, like, really make this clear. Wait, hang on. Hit button? You've lost me. Why would I attack my controller? I spent money on this thing. It looks really nice up in my wall. Is it sad that I'm going out of my way to do the optional quest for Urchek just because they're awesome? I guess she's awesome. It's a good point. It said to jump. Didn't clarify that the game wanted you to jump in the game. It's apparently a leader's room. He has a destroyer egg. Right. We'll talk about the brickwork when we actually get to the Wizard's Tower. not even at yet. Having said that, I do think the Witcher's Tower looks good. The architecture of the... I forget what it's called. It's marble inlaid with gold seams. That look, right there. That's what they use consistently for the wizards. It's a good look. Yeah, I don't want to overpraise, but Mario Wonder is the best game ever made. Sorry. Is also a good game, and in one of the ways it is in tutorialization. Almost every single one of the Wonder shifts has something about the area in which you shift that immediately conveys to the player, usually visually, hey, this is how this works. It's like, oh, okay. That's true. It's too easy. It's Garbo. That's why Mario World sucked, too. Nobody likes Mario World, right? It's too easy. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to perfectly glide my way through the entire game effortlessly. Ugh, baby game. What do you mean I could play without the cape? Oh my god, Pax, kill me! Am I ever going to get out of this stupid dungeon? This isn't even a dungeon. This is just like a waste your time section. This is taking so long. I'm shocked at how long this is taking. Hey, let me scroll up a little bit here. I have been doing this quest for 27 minutes. I think I spent less time just grinding rifts. Twice. In a row. Okay. Mario World is still the gold standard for tutorialization, if nothing else because it never stops. The whole game is a tutorial for video games and for the game in particular. Okay, so can I... Nope. Mega Man X1 is getting there, but I would still put Mega Man X1 below, say, Breath of the Wild. The Great Plateau... I have issues with Breath. The Great Plateau is none of them. You could make an entire game out of the Great Plateau, and I would probably be happy about that. In fact, I'm pretty sure several indie games are basically a poor man's attempt at that. I would say one of the biggest problems Mega Man X1 makes is Super, no question, Ross. Dread is probably second, but Super is definitely first. Every Mega Man game has the choose the 8 levels, and thus each 8 of the 8 levels is relatively the same difficulty. The big flaw in X1 is they all assume you got the dash first. I know I've banged on that point before, but it really needs to be reemphasized how much X1's levels were designed around you doing Chill Penguin first. They really should have just mandated that, or heavily indicated, hey, go do Chill Penguin first. Or just do what the later games do, and give you the dash to start. Okay, I know I said I'd do Urchek's quest, but honestly, I'm sick to death of being here. Let's get out of here.
Good work, Commander. I appreciate your efficiency.
No need to be insulting.
With the Astral Translocator back up and running, we're ready.
Skyward Sword.
I don't know what awaits us among the bastions, but we must move forward, Mabon or no.
With a Wayfinder on our side, it'll be a fun fight.
Who's the Wayfinder?
You.
You have proven loyal enough for now.
I'm honored. You barely know me.
And you've still time to disappoint us.
Dagda.
Let us finish our preparations. We will retake the bastions and push for the spire.
Yes, Ross, and it was awful. Yeah, no, they clearly knew you really needed to do Chill Penguin first. You really did. And if you didn't...
I was manufactured to the highest standards.
Again, I was willing to give it a bit of a pass if the game itself had done anything to indicate Chill Penguin first, which it didn't. Oh, finally, we made it. But yeah, sorry, Riker's Beard. I've already thought about that, and Skyward Sword has a legitimately terrible tutorial. In fact, it has like 3 of them. Because there's the initial stuff on Skyloft, which A, takes way too long, and doesn't actually convey most of the basics, and it does so by the worst way, right? It's like, hey, if you hit this button and then do this thing, you could do this. You should hit this button to progress. And it's just like, game, I've played Zelda games before. Why are you doing this? I mean, I know. You're thinking, what about a brand new player? Okay. Plop a brand new person who's never played a video game before in front of Link to the Past or Twilight Princess or Ocarina of Time, and they will figure out what to do like that. Because those games know how to tutorialize. The first 3 dungeons of Ocarina are some of the best designed in the game, because they are so well designed to be like, hey, you've never played a video game before? We got your back. Anyways, welcome to the Wizard's Tower. Freaking finally. God, I feel like I'm going to fall asleep. Oh, wake up. Wake up. Okay. So, good news. Who wants some positives? So, yeah, first of all, this place looks gorgeous. So there's that brick positive that Giga really was just angling for. She was like, hey, listen, please stop giving negatives to my beloved game. And I was like, that's gonna cost you, Giga. For real, though. Yeah, positive for the capital city that takes the longest to load. It's a damn shame, because it is the best capital city in the game that I've played. I haven't seen if Janthier has one. I'm not joking. I've actually already shown this capital city off. This is brilliant design from a gameplay perspective. Bank. Guild Bank. Auction house. Basic vendor. Within about 30 feet of here is all the crafting stations, all of which can also be a bank. Mystic Forge right here in the middle. This is great design from a gameplay perspective. It is a shame it takes so damn long to load, because this is kind of an ideal setup from a gameplay perspective. I will give it positives because it deserves them. Oh, also, the waypoint is right there. Sorry, forgot to mention that too. And I know there's another way to get here that doesn't involve the Wizard's Tome and like leads to the Wizard's Tome. Of course, now I can't remember it. Get all this crap out of my inventory. So, speaking of which, that is another thing. It's not as perfect as Lion's Arch for one thing. If you hit this button, you're at Lion's Arch. If you hit this button, you are at the Archipelago. But if you go up here, you're at the Wizard's Tower. So it's close to a shortcut spot on the map. But let's say I want to warp to Cantha from the Wizard's Tower. So that would cost me about 10 silver. Because we're in the northwest corner of the map. Not as far away from everything as you can get. Okay. Plus to visuals. Actually, 2 pluses to visuals. This teleport tome, I highly recommend going and getting. It is very low investment to pick up. I don't know what it comes with by default. Let me see if I can figure that out. Let's find out here. What do you start with? Well, so what it does is I was grateful. Don't listen to Pax. If anything, there were 2 things. First of all, I was thankful for him giving me a guide on getting it. And second of all, I was also thankful for him telling me about it to begin with, because I didn't know about it. In fact, I felt stupid for not getting it earlier until I found out it had actually only come out like 2 weeks before. So what it does is you pop it up, and the moment you do, it gives you a dialogue option. These are all teleport locations, some of which are categorized. For example, here's all the Icebrood stuff. Here's all the Season 3 stuff. Here's all the Season 4 stuff. Yeah, this came out pretty recently. So, looks like Lowland Shore and Genthier, Arborstone, and I think that's it for there, because I haven't done anything. And Hall of Monuments, and that's it. Because, yeah, I don't have any of the capital cities, and I will never get them. There's the Dragon Bash Festival, because that's current. These 3 you have to purchase. We'll get to that second. So, Egg Chamber, Spear Marshal, and the Sanctuary, Arborstone again, Lowland Shore, and the Mist Vault. So, it looks like Wizard's Tower isn't on here, period. Oh, right. Yes, because you have to finish Secrets of the Obscure to start the collection to get the Wizard's Tower teleport. Right. I know this. Yeah, I believe... Oh, hang on. Where is it? Where's my Achievos? There it is, I think. Yep. So I don't have the Sun's Refuge because I don't care. There's the Wizard's Tower one. That's the one we'll do once we have finished it. I don't care about this one, which is that's to get a pad. Don't worry about that. I might get Old Lion's Arch with Pax. I might get that with Pax. All of these can go to hell. So here's what you have to do to be able to teleport to Lion's Arch. All you need is to combine the essence of Lion's Arch with the essence of the East with the essence of the West. The essence of the East is made by combining 50 Mystic Coins and Holbrick, Ebonhawk, and Black Citadel. West is another 50 coins, the Grove, Radasum, and Divinity's Reach. Now, just to give an idea, each of those individual capital cities has something like, we'll use Divinity's Reach as an example. This is made by combining 1 Essence of Divinity's Reach, I have no idea what that is, 2 Mystic Keystones, 7 Mystic Dust, and 50 Mystic Coins. So hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 300 plus Hang on, so 300, 350, 400. That's 450 mystic coins to get a teleport to Lion's Arch. Ignore all the other crap. Just that. Just that is insane, and I'm never doing that. Anyways. But yes, the way this works is this is purely free. I could just be like, hey, I feel like going here. Boop. I'm not going to do it because then I have to pay to get back. So. Cash shop. Look. But for those of you wanting to get the tome at all, which I actually do recommend, there's a reason I have it in my shared storage. It is... Look up the achievement. Okay. Work hard for now is the name of the achievement. It's this one right here. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to find an NPC in Lion's Arch. A guide will tell you about this. So find the NPC in Lion's Arch, and then you're going to have to go, and you're going to have to interact with a spot across basically a lot of vanilla zones, right? So some of these are jumping puzzles, some of these are just go find a specific thing, some of them are very easy, some of them are not. Just use a guide. Once you have all of these, you go ahead and combine them, and you gain access to the tome. The tome, again, I'm not sure what it starts with by default, but... Like, here's the Season 3 stuff. Travel to Bloodstone Fen. I'll actually show you this. In the Bloodstone Fen... yeah, no kidding, Giga. There's a vendor. Now, this stuff has been in the game for a while. The tome is actually just an inventory saver, if that makes any sense. Because they sell Bloodstone Fen Portal Scroll. So you go get these. Now each time you pick up a scroll, the moment you buy it, it's unlocked for your tome. Make sense? So you run around to all of these zones and buy these scrolls. They cost 1,000 unbound magic each. You're going to need like, I think 13,000 total. And 50 silver, so you're going to need about like 5 or 6 gold. Buy all these scrolls.
My eyes out here.
Gain access to all these locations. And again, some of them are by default, which is kind of nice. Anyways. Yeah, no kidding. Now, I am suddenly having a case of dry throat, so I'm going to go forge some water. Okay. Oh, sorry, yeah, no, it's a free, more or less instantaneous portal to everywhere. Oh no, Scumlord! No! Why would you say that? If only Giga was here to help me. Alas. Apparently I need to go up for whatever's happening next. More up? Okay. Why I go more up? It's Giga! I was getting hungry for fish. Or frog. It's more up. Oh my god. I get that it's a tower. Maybe this is why they give you the frickin' bunny for free.
Over here.
Hi.
I agree with Lear. I thought they'd be... taller.
Hold your knife still. This is the Wayfinder?
Who? Oh, right. Still getting used to that.
This is Zizzle and Galrath, representatives from the Bastion of the Obscure and the Bastion of the Natural.
Think of the bastions like, the Asuran colleges, but subtract the fraternizing and studying and replace that with fieldwork.
We specialize in and observe the various magical ecosystems that sustain Tyria.
Mabon was spotted in the Bastion of Knowledge. He was...
not well, and unable to hold out much longer. Wayfinder, we will need your aid when we locate him.
What do you think he's doing?
Hiding! For all our sakes.
While they continue to search, Rian could use you at the Bastions. You can go now.
I'll make my preparations and head out.
Now, what were we gossiping about?
An academic's dream, a hub of research and magic without judgment and bureaucracy. If Radasum lost a quarter of the ego and adopted Lear's ethical practices. I'm trying, just getting another one. Okay. Amnatas is a hub of research. Each of the 6 bastions represents a different subset of Tyrian magic. Nature, cosmos, balance, battle, knowledge, obscure. Each wizard runs one of these bastions, depending on their prowess. Although quite a few of them have been without leadership for centuries, Isgarden doesn't often allow ascension anymore. We still haven't met him. I'm not sure, by the way, Giga. It's a place worth protecting. Under Cryptus attack, it's dangerous. Ancient relics, stored magic, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Hey, you've been doing a stunning job. We need a little more excitement up here. Mine should be easy to remember. That's Zizzle, as in sizzle, if you need a head. Zizzle. Okay. So how did you come across the word? Complete happenstance. I've always been a connoisseur of alchemical craft, so much so that I accidentally neglected an attack on an attack party approaching my village. Thankfully, no one died. I was banished, but it proved just fine, as the ward recruited me shortly thereafter. Well, actually, you know, up here, since we've got the height, I can show this off a little bit more. Oh, and I went too far immediately. Hey, there's a mastery I don't have. My god, I hope not Blade to Fall. It's the last thing I need, just to be the commander of a bunch of geeks. I mean, yeah. That was weird. There we go. Yeah, I guess I just didn't have this one. Alright, whatever. How are we at on that? I noticed we've been getting experience pretty fast. I'm almost ready to ley land on my mount. And then, what's this one? Learn how to magically enhance updraft to replenish your mount's endurance. I don't know what that means, but sure, whatever. I don't care. Okay.
I don't know if this brings me ease or fills me with an acute sense of dread.
Dagda asked us to look through his things. We face no ire.
It's not that. Have you read this one? About his ascension? This implies that the Mursat of Janthir were not the first.
Speak up. I didn't catch that.
The Mursat are not from Tyria. They're from...
Didn't we know that?
Just read it.
No.
What?
Like, for real, I thought we knew that they were aliens. They're not even the only aliens here. We humans are aliens in this setting.
I can feel them. Your relics. The highest-ranking archivist in the Astral Ward. I've been looking for a globetrotter.
Do you want me to go do events for you?
I'm happy.
Runes and sigils have always been a capstone of the magic ecosystem, granting power to charlatan and sorcerer alike. But their powers are quite dormant compared to our relics. I believe they are broken pieces of very old runes. Very, very old. When the Dragon Cycle ended, not only did the Spire hiccup, many of our spells and magics reverted to an archaic state. These fascinating and magnificent objects included.
Oh, hey, look. Relic of the Fractal. Well, these all look like crap. God, who would actually use these? Ugh. Junko. So is this when they introduced the relic system? This is kind of new to me. So, sorry, for those of you not aware, this slot over here didn't used to exist. This used to be part of the runes over there. Or sigils, I forget which. And they just gave it its own slot, which is fine. Oh. We've actually already reviewed those. They're part of the build system, as usual.
My shackles weak. I hear the song of every living gift. Waiting for my call.
Okay. I do like the books just flying around periodically. As books are wont to do. But yes, remember how I mentioned that Mursat, that demon is more like an adjective than a noun in this setting? It's just extra dimensional creature. Yeah, Mursat, right? The Mursat showed up. I think we learned this in Gwen, but the Mursat showed up, tempted, I forget his name, the guy who ended up finding the White Mantle. And then everything went to hell. There was a whole genocidal thing. Saul. Yes, I know, by the way, that's not when the Mursat showed up. The Mursat showed up before that. Before anyone jumps in. The Mursat have actually been around for a really long time. They were around before the last Dragon Cycle, put it into perspective. Do you really, Colgrim? Is he dead? Is it his spirit? Oh, there it is. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, this area I actually know a little bit more because this is where I usually do rift hunts, and there's a big meta event here too. But right now, we have to go close rifts. Well, if we're going to do rift, I'm going to go up. Because I want height for this. I get the feeling they retconned several demons into Cryptus. Oh, I think they just finished it. Nope, hang on, there's a dude. Ah! So here's the plot so far. Any questions? Okay, I am slightly exaggerating. But the funny thing is how little I am exaggerating. So it turns out that a bunch of demons called Cryptus have started organizing. And they are invading places. And they have invaded the Dimensional Police's headquarters, which we just reclaimed for them. That's the plot so far. Sometimes it does, Riker's Beard. Back up here. I mean, it's odd. Hang on, I'm gonna fact check myself on something. Okay, I'm wrong. Deimos sounded familiar. But he's not. I just double checked myself. Yes, I know what the mark for Deathbreaker is. Thank you. This is one thing I like about this zone. There's a waypoint that's pretty much at the top of the zone. And as a result, as long as you have the Griffin, getting around is pretty sweet. If you don't have the Griffin, well, it sucks to be you. I would not want to navigate this zone without the Griffin, to be quite honest with you. No, you heard me right. Not the Sky Scale, the Griffin.
Are enabling Zizzle to pick up on stronger astral frequencies. It's helpful.
I'm seeing very dense clouds of consciousness, emotions, swirling. But they're getting darker.
Keep it up. We'll find Mabon in no time at this rate.
What? I thought we just... Did another one spawn right here? I was looking at my notes, I didn't see what happened. That was weird. I'll take it. Whatever. I am not questioning, huh? Beating a dopamine. Am I ready for already? I am. Ley line acclamation. Ooh, I don't actually want that, but I do want this. Oh, wrong mouth. like, being real, and I mean this, I think what they probably should have done instead of focusing... Is that it? Instead of focusing on the sky scale, give us the Griffin for this section, you know? Now, I know what you're thinking, but the Griffin doesn't go up. Yeah, but the Griffin goes down. I hate to repeat myself, but one of the things that Dragonflight did so well was it designed almost all of its zones to be a slant down. And there was a relatively easy to get to Hearth spot and Flight Fly spot up at the very peak of everything. It's not actually the highest point, but it's like towards the peak of everything. And so you glide down to everywhere you're going. That was brilliant design. I praised that back in Dragonflight. Do the same thing here. Give us the Griffin for free instead of the Sky Scale for free, and let us glide down to wherever we're going, as you've been seeing me do in this very zone. Or just give us both. I mean, that's an option too. Anyways, I saw Chitoho, and I am quite excited about them reaching a bureaucrat who will say, "Nyeh," and that'll be the end of that. I have no hope. There is no hope. The future's ending. Moving on. Okay, so game preservation is actually a pretty big problem in general, because a lot of games just kind of go away over time. In fact, the number of games that are no longer legally obtainable immeasurably outnumbers the amount of games that are legally obtainable. So it's a big problem. It has been a big problem for about 40 years now.
We've almost got him. Just a few more.
Do not lose your grip, Sissel. Root yourself.
Now, here's the thing. Stop Killing Games, the agency, the organization, or whatever, they are a little bit more focused on online games or online types of games, right? You know, the kind of game where we're playing it right now. And I mention that because the Stop Killing Games initiative actually has some pretty substantial flaws with its approach, style, and overall methodology. But the core concept remains the same. Preserve games. It's ultimately about consumer protections, which is why this has any hope of happening at all, because it's happening in the EU, which tends to be fairly notoriously pro-consumer. Yeah, exactly, Blade Taval. Put simply, I think my actual personal hot take on this is that this is a good first step. And this needs to go through, and we need to have some kind of protections against some of the nonsense that the bigger companies, Ubisoft, are pulling off in order to be a stepping stone for actually entertaining proper game preservation legality. Yeah, like, one of the biggest arguments against it is that it's just not financially feasible to be able to maintain a game forever, which is debatable and depends. And I'm saying that very vaguely because, God, it's actually a pretty complex issue. But here's the thing. Even in the case of an MMO, there is a proven methodology in order to try and make it so that a game is preserved beyond it being shut down. Releasing the source code and allowing players to establish their own private servers. Now, if you're paying attention, the overwhelming majority of private MMOs out there are not legal in the strictest sense. It's just that nobody really cares enough to enforce that. But adding some kind of legal protections for people to be able to do that, and giving the company legal methodology to, again, release the source code and be able to set up their own private servers, yeah, good thing, right? And yeah, the problem is this is effectively a solved problem, like mechanically, right? From a technical perspective, we're there. We're good. I like how it's just the two of us here, Giga. We got this! Leroy! Like, I could get much more into the weeds on this issue, but please trust my summary when I say it's actually a pretty complex issue, but it is absolutely something that needs to be looked into and worked on. Oop, oop, oop. So I am glad that that this initiative is getting somewhere.
Commander, we found him.
Is everything okay? Zojja, take a breath.
It's not okay. I don't approve of what they're doing to him. We'll meet you outside before we head in.
That didn't sound good.
Actually, I'm pretty sure this initiative is primarily focused on things like online games. The game that everyone points to that really got the dominoes rolling in this exact case with this exact initiative is The Crew, which is a Ubisoft game. Actually, a really good game. I would recommend it if it was physically possible to play it. And that's the problem. In the case of The Crew, the specific case of The Crew, one of the biggest issues with it is the fact that it is functionally a single-player game, but no effort or work was ever made in order to patch it to be single-player functional. So instead, the game is just gone. You cannot play The Crew anymore, not unless you have some kind of fan patch, which I don't even know if that exists or not. So a game was just deleted from reality, and people are like, hold up. Hold up. And that kind of got this latest domino going. And I should mention, once again, The Crew is actually a surprisingly good game. I know that it shouldn't be necessary for something like this, because it's not about Preserve Good Games initiative or whatever. But it's just like another layer of, really, wait, what? On top of everything else. It shouldn't be legal. That's where we're at as Mirastar. There's a reason I specifically called out Ubisoft earlier.
Spoke of this place like a kingdom. It's...
Peitha!
What?
I can see you.
Where?
You can.
Oh.
What?
There she is.
You must be getting...
Yeah, no, the counter-argument is the corpo argument. I don't even have to tell you it, do I? You know exactly what it is. So, honestly, the initiative was very dead in the water until someone who I'm not even going to name, because that person does not deserve my time or attention, decided to make it his life's work to do everything in his power to bash the initiative as loudly and as vibrantly as he could. But it was like, I used this parallel just yesterday. It's like I was running around telling you that water's actually dry. Some people will believe me if I say that, if I have a big enough voice, if I have a big enough footprint on the internet. But too many people were like, hold on, water's dry? Yeah, no, water is dry, absolutely. Nobody, and that got more people involved and got more people pushed into it. And yeah, it started a drama chain, which got more people aware of it, which got some other big YouTubers aware of it, which made them start plugging it. And yeah, now we've got some algorithm push on it, and that got people aware of it, and that's why we have the signatures now. By the way, for those who know where, I forget the exact process because I don't live in the EU. But the reason they need these 1 million signatures is because the EU, the body, the governmental body, has a policy where if they get X number of signatures for X type of, for Y type of concern, I guess is the way I want to phrase that, then it will be seen by an actual committee in the governmental body. They have a group of people whose job it is to read petitions, essentially, from just people, from civilians. And that's why that 1 million marker is so important, because this means, if nothing else, someone who actually has a suit in a very boring office is actually going to sit there and say, okay, we have to actually look at this now. Yeah, the UK fumbled it hard. The UK government just looked at it and said, this is dumb. Actually, what probably happened, this is an exaggeration, was, all right, next up on the petition is the Stop Killing Games initiative. Did we get a bunch of children pushing this forward? Denied. Moving on. I am barely exaggerating.
So, we've located him. How bad? Maban isn't well.
I don't know if he's...
With us. Maban's this way.
Look, we all know only the worst British people get elected to Parliament, okay?
There he is.
There they are, too.
No! Out of my way!
Forward!
Smashy, smashy. I just realized we're still in Act 2 because of how much padding we've had. This expansion is taking way longer than it has any right to because of the padding. Which is probably by design. I appreciate you, Giga, and Colgrim, or not Colgrim, sorry, Look the Night Reaper, and occasionally Pax in helping me speed this the hell up. Hey, Wenlock. Colgrim would never help me with this. Because he's at work. No judgment on that front. I'm at work too. So, I have obviously had several... This has nothing to do with anything. I was just reminded of this, and I find this funny. I've had several roommates over the years, and I obviously have been doing this whole streaming gig for the better part of a decade. Actually, over a decade at this point. The reason I bring that up is one of the things... It's relieving. Okay, I know this sounds stupid. It's relieving
Zojja!
to have Zojja interrupt me. It's relieving to periodically have someone who is a new roommate of me, who hasn't worked, hasn't lived here while I'm streaming, make the casual comment of, and it's always the same type of comment, I had no idea how hard you work every day. I thought you just played video games. It's comforting to have that kind of external validation that I actually am doing my freaking job. Really, Mr. Red? Hang on. Let me figure this out. So I have to feed my pet. Hit buttons. You've lost me. It is a little infuriating, even those amongst my closest, I hesitate to use the word family, tend to treat it like I don't have a job. Which is personally insulting, along with being just generally infuriating. God. To this day, I still use the term Steve's voice to describe that, Mr. Red. Okay, I feel like I shouldn't be fighting these things. Hang on.
Zojja!
The guy's name was Steve.
Zojja, get a hold of yourself. We need to fight.
Or I could be tossed into the air. Oh, I don't know, Ross. I mean...
Downright cruel to anyone who gives a damn! He gave me a home when mine forgot about. He saw me! Not just trophies and awards. Me! Go away!
Jesus, Felicia Day, where did that come from?
Die in that place. You have a home.
Hey.
Yeah, I feel like there was some personal experience in that.
I'll send word to the tower. Zizzle?
How is she? Heartbroken. You should have seen them when times were less severe. Her flame was ill-tended when she first arrived, barely visible. But he helped tend to that flame once again, gave her the tools that she needed to keep it lit. She reminds me so much of him. Pardon. What are you thinking, little light? Do you know how proud Mabon was of you? How special you were to him?
And then he died.
But our memory of him didn't, nor did everything he taught you.
He took me in when the rest of the world forgot. I had so much more to learn from him.
You will only continue to grow, Zojia. But you have to choose that path. Mabon saw a spark in you, as he saw the stars in me. Tend to that flame, kindle it. Your future could be with us.
With you? I need to sit.
She'll be all right. She just needs to reflect. You should too. I know you didn't know him for very long, but I think you can see what he meant to us. Especially her.
His callowness clings to the air. I feel the warmth of his breath collecting on your skin. Disgusting. The dolt follows Eborg without a thought.
Who are you talking about?
Did Eborg send him simply to cause havoc before the main event?
Power flow at 30%. Rerouting.
So this is my sister, and she says she's leaving me here. She's abandoning me, moving without me. And I'm stuck with the cat, obviously. So he's my cat. Anyone want a cat? For no reason? No, Giga, no good news. I'm sorry. Nobody's bought the house. Although, someone offered to buy the house for 60 grand under the asking price. Reminder that they're asking for way less than it's worth. And all the other houses in the area are about $200,000 to $300,000 more. But no. Drop the price by 60 grand. Bragwin says, did you punch them in the balls? Yeah, anyways.
Thank you for standing with Zerja. I'm sure that battle will stay with her until she chooses to cross.
Her future being with you. What did you mean by that?
Zerja has amazing magical ability. When she arrived, it was untested. She'd spent so long focusing on her technological studies that she neglected the well of power at her feet. But she also knows much of the modern marvels that many of us do not comprehend. She is special.
You want her to join the Wizard's Court?
That will be Zerja's choice.
We're working on spells to fight the Cryptus. Pitch in!
This one backfires every 7 casts. Is that an acceptable risk?
Oh, these elements are mixing together like oil and wyvern breath. Excellent.
Strange occurrences are the new norm, especially since the end of the dragon cycle. We send a few insurgents down, start some conflicting rumors about small groups of wanderers reacting to dragon magic. People pick sides, or things they know nothing about, spread conspiracies, yada yada yada, problem solved.
Small groups? That's what they're calling those strikes near the Grove and the Reach. Wanderers don't even operate in groups that size, for starters.
The humidity is making a damn mess of these walls.
Wayfinder.
I just had them cleaned,
I'm-
too.
Interesting.
I'm so sorry about
I believe I
Mabon.
may have a solution. He was kinder than we deserved.
I'm all ears.
If we didn't have the cryptist at our door, I'd light a fire in our heart. We'd sing, drink in his name.
Perhaps I can acquire some for you.
Instead, we fight.
You
The
know
Astral
you're all
Ward is
right,
holding the front
Ramses.
line at the Bastion of
Have you
Strength.
eaten yet? When Mabon made his final journey,
Suppose there are
the
some material
cryptist fell
dishes I've
back.
been interested in sampling.
Got that going for us, at least.
The Bastion is presently secure, but when the next push begins...
The air is different. They're plotting something.
Then we'd better be at full strength when that happens.
We haven't seen Iskaran since the Bastion of the Celestial was overrun.
I assume he's near the spire, if not inside. What he's up to could be good or bad. Wayfinder, I need you out on the Bastions. We could use a victory today.
I'll make sure the cryptists feel our pain firsthand. Where's Zojia?
In the barracks, I think. Seems to be taking this the hardest.
Get it together, Zojia. Get it together!
Not that I entirely understand this whole wizard thing, but I think you'd be a great one.
Did you hear all of that?
I can pretend I didn't.
I'd be able to let go of all this grief, Mabon, Maguma, but I'd leave almost everything of merit I've ever achieved. But come on, I made a life-changing decision just after Mabon died. If it came from anyone but Dagda, it'd be emotional warfare. I used to be so mad at everyone. You have no idea.
At me?
At the world. You didn't do anything, but... When I left Radasum, all I wanted was for you, or Logan, or Taimi to come looking for me. But I didn't want to be found. You guys were off saving the world, and I just wasn't ready for that again.
I figured you would have called if you needed us. I'm so sorry, Zojia. We would have come. I know I would have.
I know. I do. And I could have just as easily asked. I just wanted to feel wanted, you know? I was embarrassed to ask. But you can't know what I need unless I tell you.
What do you want to do?
I feel selfish for even humoring the idea.
You're happy here.
Radasum hasn't felt like home in years. Another researcher, Pastor Prime, they stopped asking me to speak at the colleges. But here, they know me. Even without Mabon, this feels like home. Especially with you here.
Then I'll support whatever you decide.
Yeah? How is Timey doing, anyway? Behaving?
Absolutely not. But she's as bright as ever. And dating, if you can believe it.
Oh, alchemy. Nothing stops the march of time, does it?
I'll leave you to it. Frode needs me to... You know what? It's not important. Good luck, Zojja. I'm here, no matter what.
Wayfinder, Rian asked for you to check in with him once you've spoken to Zojja.
We talked. She's...
Got a lot to think about. We'll let her grieve and reflect. In the meantime, while you're assisting Rian, the rest of the Astral Ward could use your help clearing the bastions.
And help raise morale. Many will be devastated when they hear the news. Give them hope.
I can hear them.
Who?
Iskara. Do not let your focus slip. The ends are threading together.
I've heard of your feats since we last spoke, Wayfinder. A title for the ages, I think, and well-deserved. As we approach the World Spire, the Cryptis grow more and more ravenous, but calculated. The Bastions need you.
Aren't you just seeping with adoration?
Ah, I've yet to introduce you to Camilla, my smile.
It's a pleasure, Wayfinder. Congratulations.
Hands full?
Very. But not without reward. I think I've discovered a way to help the Heart home in on our unwanted visitors. When Rian mentioned he was meeting with you again, I asked to join. I could use someone in the field for more hands-on research.
Well, the Wayfinder has been instrumental in aiding our hunters and the Astral Ward.
Anything to give us the upper hand.
Let's talk then. This could be mutually beneficial. When I first handled the device, I felt a yearning in it. It had curiosity for me, perhaps. As I it, I followed this pull and melded a spell. A charm of sorts that would strengthen the connection between Wielder and the Heart. I've taken to calling them motivations. They should enable the Heart to attune to even stronger emotions, hidden within you. I've got one for you here.
I mean, totally Colgrim. Once again, Wayfinder? Really? I also prefer Commander. So, hang on. Before we go any further... Wait, hang on. Let's take the motivator. We can now do Tier 2 Rift Hunts! Yeah! Sorry. There we go. Oh, yeah. Just sell it. Okay, cool. Should I destroy this? No, I don't even care. Okay, let's talk about the game first, because now we're bored again. Now we have to go once again.
I can't.
Do rifts.
A rush of cold.
You like doing rifts, right?
Turning to
Right. Go do rifts.
joy. And then anxiety.
It's working. Follow where it guides you.
Well, I would, but you were yammering while it was showing me, so I didn't see it. Let's pop that up again. What was the name of the frickin' Liam O'Brien guy again? God, the Mersat. Mabon, I want to say? Okay, so we'll do that, and then we'll do... Here's my thoughts. The death of Mabon was pathetic. They tried to make it, they did the same thing that a lot of the dialogue is doing, which is like, this is a big moment, and then didn't actually make it a big moment. It was just like, yeah, he's dead. Honestly, no joke, granted, I was a little bit splitting my attention at the time. I couldn't actually tell he died at first. I thought between Zojja's commentary and the overall thrust of what we were doing there to find him and save him, I figured we had successfully saved him, not that he had died. I was just like, oh, he's dead. Okay. Zojja's reaction to that was brilliant. Like, Jesus Christ, Felicia Day just nailing that out of absolutely nowhere. And the follow-up scene where Zojja was trying to react and process and gave a bit of her backstory. And it's funny because her big complaint was like, you know, I say her big complaint, none of you came looking for me. And it's like, it almost feels cheap to say that, because obviously the story wrote Zojja out of the narrative. Don't point that at me. You did that, game. But I did like that follow-through. It was a nice private character moment. Probably the first actually good character moment we've had this entire expansion. So, plus, plus, minus, minus. As we go do rifts. Again. And by we, I mean I. I'm actually alone. Oh my god. Help! Help! I mean, I can do these solo, but god. So, and I love doing rifts. I've lost track of how many times we've just been doing rifts. So, the next thing I wanted to talk about. So, the only thing you guys probably care about is that Pocket will actually be going up with them and not me. Thank God. And to be very clear, I do not say that from a selfish perspective. Nobody wants that poor cat to endure a 15-hour road trip. Yeah, I will benefit from that for not having to do that trip with the cat as well. But to be clear, that was for the cat's sake. Oh, jeez, we might need help. Help! Pax! Pax! Ah, we lost Pax. Alright, the way it's gonna line up right now. Yeah, sure. Grab Polar. I didn't think you were home yet. There you are. So the current new thing. I'll tell you about the idiots in just a second. Oh, I should be doing this. Whoop, nope, couldn't quite manage. Thought I could break him before it reached me. But the current new plan is in... Whoops, I didn't mean to hit that button. Next week, so I'm going to not stream next Monday. Let's just start with that. Because I'll be going up and visiting for the last time for the foreseeable future. I may not see any of these people for a month plus after that visit. So I'm just going to visit, say hi. No, I know, Giga. That's why I was asking for help. So I'm going to go help them get packed for the trip they're about to do, and just say hi and visit, maybe play Mario Kart, and clean, and you get it. There we go. They're going to go up as soon as the eldest niece comes back. I mean, that wouldn't surprise me, Jojo. They're going to go up to his wife's, her mother's house, which is kind of like halfway in between here and where we're going, in order to do that and stay there, and that's going to be where they stay for the immediate future. My brother-in-law is going to his parents. Yeah, it's been about 2 months at this point, Ross. My brother-in-law is going to his parents, and he's just going to stay there. So the house is actually going to become truly abandoned, because it's getting to the point where it's starting to affect people's sanity, being in this empty house with nothing to do for weeks on end. So he'll...
That was overwhelming, but also
exhilarating. The heart is a peculiar device, but I thank whatever spirit you've been to that you've got it in your pocket. If you ever want more, come see me. I've crafted some even more potent than what I gave you.
Yeah, I've done 2 or 3 rifts.
And with empathy.
Those are fun.
We have completed the task at hand.
Oh, I feel so bad for the kids. I think I told this story, but when I went to visit, I guess it was last Thursday at this point, when they knew I was there, their first reaction was to immediately fling themselves into me, like literally just glomp and clamp onto me. Followed seconds later by "Let's go play," which we then did for like an hour solid. Because, yeah, they were not enjoying themselves. Do not blame. Anyways, so she's going to stay with her mother. Well, that's not quite true, but whatever. She's going up there. She's taking all 3 of the kids with her. He's going to his parents. I'm stuck here. I am also technically stuck with the cat for now. But when he goes to link up with them, he will take the cat. And at that point, all of them, plus the cat, plus the dog, will go up first to go procure a new house. I will be stuck here, sans cat, until a new house has been procured, at which point we will figure out the specifics of exactly when I head up. Because all the stuff in the pods, that's on me. That's my end of things there. And we've all agreed they are hiring movers in order to empty the pods, because none of us are doing that again. That was insane. Yes, Spook. The goal is we are all going to end up in the same house at the same location. Now, there is an asterisk there. One of the things they're considering, since we're moving to someplace that's substantially cheaper on the real estate side of things, is possibly, instead of having one big house, having 2 smaller houses, one of which would be for me, and, like, maybe the eldest, but probably just me, and the other one be for the rest of them. That is something that's a debatable... Everything, once we move west, is just a huge question mark at this point.
Hello, Wayfinder. While we search for Isgarin, I have a hunch that I'd like you to follow. The Bastion of the Obscure. I can hear whispers. Not Cryptis, not Isgarin. A pole? I don't think it's malevolent, but I think it's looking for you.
Well, that sounds extremely safe. I should immediately go investigate that. Sure. So I said I'd make fun of the people, right? So here's how this... Let me set the stage for just a second. Let me give you some numbers.
Dismal. I suspect we'll need to get more creative to survive.
The house is extremely priced to sell. Actually, a fairly large amount of work and effort has gone into setting the price of the house very specifically. Put in very simple terms, the house is currently being listed for about $20,000 less than what it's actually worth. That's counting the fact that... Agree, Colburn. That's counting the fact that there are a few things that need to be worked on in the house, and that it's not quite up to, shall we say, the level of pretentiousness that most of the other houses in the neighborhood already have. So, the house price is very, very specifically set. So, this couple comes by, and they're like, yeah, we'll offer you this, but you got to give us a 60 grand discount. To which response was, what? Yeah, no, see, we want to do all kinds of stuff with the house. We want to lay down marble on the floors. We want to add an extra, add some fresh sod under the backyard, and then place, a little bunker building out there, and we figured it out, and that's going to cost about $60,000. So, give it to us for $60,000 less, and we'll go ahead and buy it, to which the response was, piss off. The doubly funny part was the real estate agent, who is the one who actually conveys this information to them, was all confused. He thought that was, yeah, no, they want to pretentious it. Exactly. That's exactly right. The real estate agent said this with the air of, this is the deal, let's shake on it. As if that was it. That's all. Okay, we've got you a deal. Your house is going to sell. When told no, his response was, but don't you want to sell? I know, right? If it was mandatory stuff, maybe the HVAC needed a complete overhaul, or maybe, the windows needed replacing or whatever. Yeah, exactly, Culverin. Dude thought he already had a commission, and it's no, dude. One of the things Sis and I were talking about was some more specifics of the financials involved, because when I say they are hiring, I'll get to that in a second, people good faith. When I say they are priced to sell, I mean it. For those of you not aware, you really want to look at a bunch of things, for example, how many parts of the house are there. A lot of places will have an unfinished basement, for example. We have a finished basement. And we don't have a private pool, but we don't have a public pool, blah, 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 blah. You get the general idea. But the thing is, one of the big things you want to look at is price per square foot. They're charging about half price per square foot of everywhere else in the area. Now, that makes sense. Because again, everywhere else has already been pretentified, right? They have marble floors. They have the freaking gold inlay on the arches on the entrance. They have all the dumb stuff that they blew money that they didn't have to spend on it to make them feel like they're actually rich. So that makes sense. So pull it down to something about relevant. Factor in the repairs that actually, there are a couple of repairs that do need to be done on the house. Put in a little buffer space, and that's what they're charging. They'll move $5 grand on that number. Not 60. Anyways. So something I decided years ago, actually, PB Good Fate, is that my start times, my show would always be Eastern Standard. It's just easier to keep track of that way. So one of the reasons that you may or may not have noticed that the light chain has changed a little bit since I started streaming is because I have moved time zones. Hang on. 1, 2... No, it was 1, 2, 3, 4 times since I started streaming. And I always try to start at 9 a.m. Eastern, regardless of where I'm living. So the goal is for the stream time to not change. I don't enjoy haggling at all. I'm actually really good at it, but I hate doing it.
Wayfinder, Zizzle called on Urchik and Glade to assist you in the Bastion of the Obscure.
I'm not sure what we're even looking for.
Oh, what does Glade mean by that? can sense something. She's not sure what, but... she thinks it's Mabon. I don't know what it is, but I trust her, always.
Let's see what we can find.
Just realized I need to do that. That. There we go. There we go. Oh, we have an achievement for this. Help Gladium search. Okay. Let's find the pile of riches, first of all. I'm sorry, Kenexcal.
Skrit is saddened to see these halls empty. No astral ward. Only the smells of fighting and fear.
I must get the pile of riches. I need that money. And yeah, if we did end up going as far as the West Coast, which I'm neither confirming nor denying, that does mean a 6 a.m. start time. That's easy, though, as weird as that sounds. As long as I go to bed at the right time, I will almost always wake up at the right time. And yes, we're still in the the demons story. Hello, Evo. Okay. Also true, Colgrim. I mean, if there's one thing I'm capable of, it's self-discipline. I mean, come on. So that's a rat on a throne in front of a bunch of other rats, if you can't tell what that is. Good morning, Rhea Girl. Okay, Colgrim got the achievement. Did I get the achievement? I think I did. Well, no.
Glade's found something! Quickly, quickly!
It's a lot of work, Reckersbeard. It is a lot of work. But I don't mind.
Skrit hates to see so many good friends lost, hates it.
It never gets easier. I know.
Urchik doesn't smell anything besides death, Glade. Let's continue the search.
Yes, J. Palmer. So, I actually do have advice if you're looking for a chair. I don't mind my gaming chairs because they work and they do exactly what I need them to. But really, just get a tall-backed office chair. Preferably cloth. Don't get leather. Don't even get fake leather. And that's the advice. Really. What you're looking for is essentially manager chairs, right? Chairs that the executives are going to be sitting on. Yeah, and you want cloth because it's not going to smell as bad. It's easier to clean. You will have to clean it regularly, unlike leather. But it's going to be a lot more comfortable. It's going to be a lot better in different environments, such as if it's too hot, too cold. And it will not have the peeling and stretching problem that leather has over long periods of time. So the trade-off is you're going to have to clean cloth, but it's going to be better in basically every other way. And yeah, this very chair, you probably can't even tell, so this is my old chair that I gave to my brother-in-law. And this is peeling in several places. In fact, I don't know if you can see it. Ugh. But like the actual chair, the fake leather thing on the seat there is very cracked at this point. That's why I gave it to him and got a cloth one instead. Anyways. That sucks. I don't know, J. Palmer. Fake leather is kind of cheap for a reason.
Cryptus?
Is the commander learning to read Gladium's gestures?
No.
Or the Cryptus's tactics, but Glade is a good leader.
I actually don't find leather comfortable. I know a lot of people overpraise leather. I'm biased. See, some of you probably know this, that my grandparents are rich. Like, well-connected, taking me to fancy dinners with the President of the United States rich. If anybody's wondering where I met Bill Clinton. Anyways, Med is overselling it.
Recognizes this. It's one of the housings that Mabon used for his most valued artifacts.
But no artifact. Do you think the Cryptis got to it?
No, this way! Glade says it's nearby.
But anyways, point I'm trying to get across is that they had money. They actually had one of the first air conditioning cars ever. Those sucked, by the way. The original air conditioning in cars. Terrible things. Smelled like gasoline the entire time.
She wants you to pick it up, Wayfinder. It wants you.
Okay, I'll pick that up in a second because I want to finish my sentence. It's going to keep it cool. Yeah, cool and nauseous. Point is, they loved leather. Real leather. And it was on, like, all of their furniture and inside their car and all that fun stuff. And, oh my god, I hated it. It was nice leather, too. It was just very uncomfortable. And squeaky under the wrong circumstances. And, of course, it retains heat, or rather, it conveys heat, is a better way to phrase that, like crazy. And just... oh, man. Yeah, real leather. These people lived in Southern California, and they had a real leather everything. Yeah, no breathing at all. Yeah. I've never had crocodile skin on anything. Boots, clothing, nothing. That is a seer.
Why did you stop fighting back? It's not worth it. Killing you. Mirsad, without bloodlust, how humble you are. I'm honest. I don't blame you for hating me. I don't blame your fear. My kind is killed for less. I am ashamed.
Wayfinder! Scrit needs you to open your eyes!
Oh, that's a... ooh, okay, sure. We can work with that. So I feel like that wasn't supposed to be revealed there, because it listed the name of that seer in the text, which I'm not even going to say out loud.
Are you okay, Commander?
But yeah, that's a seer.
I'm fine.
They're from Guild Wars 1.
Mabon. Iskarin was...
okay, they just say it.
I don't know what it means. They were fighting.
Who was fighting?
Mabon and Iskarin. Mabon sounded different. Maybe he hadn't ascended yet. I'm not sure.
Urchik has heard of stranger things in the Bastion of the Obscure. Glade and Scrit will return to Zizzle. Let him know what we discovered.
All right. I'm going to rest for a moment.
So, I'll give you the... oh.
Voice once before, when I was very little. Curious to see what a pinch of Cryptis possession has done to his mind.
I don't think I'm looking forward to it.
Watching you fumble your way through things is exciting, but I should at least prepare the meat for slaughter.
Not worried, are you?
Only for myself. I'd be missing out on the feast of the decade, should my brother put you down.
Your brother?
No. Cerys never knew how to play nicely. I worry that all he'll leave behind are blood and scraps of your flesh.
Seems like a detail you could have shared sooner.
What difference would that have made? other than to elicit a little more fear? Cerus is no Aborg, but he is terrifying in his own special way. He's circled you this whole time, watching, waiting. As soon as his task is complete, you'll be next.
And what is that task?
You're on the right path. Don't fret.
Okay. Also, that sounds horrible to both Melkor Blade and Jay Palmer. Yeah, it's the you just received a whisper text.
Commander, it's time. We know where Iskarin is.
I'm with you.
Oh, wow, Blade Javal. That, yeah. Yep.
You're calling me that now?
What should I do? You're no commander to me. I like the wizards and their little words. Wayfinder is more exciting. The one you're looking for is Garen. He's just there. But I worry that...
From everything I've gathered about him, I'm hoping it would take more than a Cryptus to bring his Garen down.
I'm more worried for you than that one. Just be cautious and hold something warm at the back of your mind.
How about my daughter, who's currently the Elder Dragon, managing the entire magic of the entire planet? Does that work for you? You know what? I just saw the time. Fulgrim, Giga, thank you both for helping. Giga, you go ahead and... I don't have crates here. Be free, because I know you're going to go do your thing. In the world. Hopefully, we won't have to do more... What do you want to bet? There's going to be another step that's like, go do more rifts. Like, we got, hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 more quests. We are about halfway through. God, this is taking forever. I'll see you after lunch.